Well, hello, everyone. Hey, Linda Anderson here from Linda Lou Creates. I know I'm a little bit late. Minor technical difficulties. Got it all figured out now. So what I am doing tonight is sharing some cards that I made using the latest Paper Pumpkin Kit stamp set. Excuse me. And it is called, the kit itself is called Ho Ho Ho. Here is the stamp set. And I adore the Santa Claus. It is easy to color. I love also this Santa and reindeer silhouette. All right, let me just say, I love it all. I love everything about this stamp set. Part of, like I said, the October Paper Pumpkin Kit. Now, this is going to make you laugh because my upline, Lynn Dunn, has done... she does her Facebook Lives in the morning, and she did hers using this very same kit and stamp set and Santa, and it was crazy. Whenever I was watching it this morning, it made me laugh because she and I really do seem to be on the same wavelength a lot of times when it comes to our card making. So it was kind of fun to see that we were both doing this today. So let's get going. I want to start with this one. I'm thinking this is the easiest one. Now, the paper that I am using is the Sweetest Christmas. It's in the holiday mini catalog, and it is with the candy canes. So let me actually just move this one out of the way so I can get here. So I just thought it was fun because there's the candy canes, but I wanted to just use more of the stripes and the geometrics. And I loved the colors that were featured in that. So it's the Real Red Sweet Sorbet, which is what this card base is. What else is there? Garden Green and Pool Party. Excuse me. So I just thought those were great colors. Now, this piece that I am attaching down to my card base of Sweet Sorbet, this is 8.5 by 5.5, scored down the center at 4 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this piece, which is 5.5 inches long, 2 inches wide. So it fits right across the card base. And it seems as if I'm a little bit... I didn't cut my card base very well because it looks like I have a little bit of the red showing. So I'll fix that at another time. So let's get this put down. I also have a piece of black cardstock, 5.5 inches long, and this is all of 1/4 inch wide. So sometimes just to break up the colors, I like to put a pop of black in there. So that's exactly what I have here. And I am just having it go right up against the card base. All right. Now, I have my circle 2 3/8. This is out of the layering circle dies. Then I also have the coordinating and scallop circle that goes right along with it. So obviously, both of these are out of white. I just thought that that was kind of fun as well. So let me go ahead and get this popped down. So these are the ends of a sheet of dimensionals. So I always like to use those up as well. So, all right. So we'll put that down. Now, here is Mr. Santa Claus himself. And all I did was stamp him in Memento Tuxedo Black, colored him, cut him out, and this is Real Red. I started with a little bit of Petal Pink and then put in some of the Flirty Flamingo for the nose and the cheeks. So super easy in order to do coloring on this. So not a problem at all for someone who doesn't like to color. So I liked having him cut out so I could pop him up right here on the circle. Now let me show you then too the sentiment. All it says, ho, 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 stamped again in the tuxedo black and then cut out. All right. I love when words like this have dies that coordinate with them. Unfortunately, this one does not. But I did put a few mini dimensionals on the back here because I knew I wanted to do a little bit of an overlap onto the circle. Not much, but just, you know, the top of that first H, and there it is. Another thing I like about the sentiment is that it is not perfectly straight, so therefore you don't have to feel like you have to make your, you know, put it down perfectly straight. So it's kind of foolproof there. All right, I have some pearls here, some of just the basic pearls. Let's just add a couple right here along this black strip, and then we will actually be done with this card. Keeping this one very, very simple. This kind of goes against my sort of stamping, the way I stamp. And that is, I almost always have more layers than this. But I thought it was fun to try and go outside the box, my box, and go directly down to the card base and make it super simple. All right. Oh, the inside, 'tis the season to be jolly. And then one of the little snowflakes. Again, all of this from the Paper Pumpkin stamp set. All right, next. Thought this one was fun because of having the base, the card base being Pool Party. And that, sorry, let me get my stuff here. I think I got it all. I wanted to pull out the Pool Party out of this striped paper here. So went with the card base on that. So let me just push this off to the side. And here are the supplies. I think you guys all know I love my top folding cards. That means that it's 11 by 4 1/4. This score line is 5 1/2. On the inside, I just had a strip here of leftover pattern paper. Just did a little stamping along with a snowflake. I like that little snowflake. So, all right. I do have another piece, same as what's on the inside. It's of the basic white. That's 4 by 5 1/4. Now, again, this is the Sweetest Christmas Designer Series paper. This green is 3 inches by 3 3/4. If you miss the measurements, don't be afraid to head over to my blog. That's lindaloucreates.com. And I will have each card and the measurements for everything listed out for you after the video is over. So, all right, so 3 by 3 3/4. Here, the striped paper is 4 inches across, 2 1/4 inches wide. So let's go ahead and get these adhered down. So now again, this Santa is colored the same way using the Real Red. I actually did not do any real blending with it. I just used the Real Red. I think I used the dark marker. I did, yes, the dark on that. Now this one, I'm going to show you here in a second. Let me get this piece that's 2 1/4 by 4. Get this now adhered down the middle, across the middle, whichever way I want to say it, or as best you can. All right. Now the little piece of that was added to Santa to kind of make him sparkle and shine. I don't even know that you can notice it very much. Hopefully you can, but I did add some Wink of Stella to the end of his hat as well as the fur trim on his hat too. Same circle, same the 2 3/8 of an inch, same scallop circle as well, all out of the layering layering circle dies. And this time I did the Real Red is what this is here. So let's go ahead, get this one adhered down by using dimensionals. Now feel free to put this wherever you want. If you like it up at the top, down near the bottom, in the center. I think since on the sample I did it kind of in the middle of this striped paper, this time I'm going to just kind of slide it up near the top. Just something different. All right, let's go ahead and get this put down. Whoops, there we go. I almost flipped my card base around and that would have been a disaster. But we've all done that, right? Or we've put it on upside down. Oh yeah, we've all done that. So, okay, so let me get this put down. Excuse me. And now my Santa, I am not going to pop him up, but I do have of the strip that, this is a 1/2 inch wide, that's hanging off. It does have a couple dimensionals on the back of it. So this way it will not sag too much since it's going off of that circle that already has dimensionals on it. So let's go ahead and pop jolly old Saint Nick down. And here we go. Now, time to just add a few embellishments. Again, I'm just pulling in those pearls. And let's just, and I'm using my pick tool. And let's go ahead and get a couple down here at the bottom, just for a total of 3. And then we will be done with card number 2. This is the one where Santa has he's kind of blinged out a little bit with that wink of Stella on his hat. So, all right, let's take this off. And now the final one. Thought I would mess things up a little bit here. Or mess things up. Anyway, thought I would mix things up a little bit. Give him a shaded spruce. This is the light blend that I used on his hat. So something a little different, giving his hat just a little different color there. I really wanted to pull out. Now I know that's shaded spruce and this is garden green, but it's still, I thought, looked pretty good together. So, all right, let me... There we go. Card base is the thick basic white. My favorite thing to do is the top folding. So that means it's 11 by 4 1/4, scored right down the middle at 5 1/2. Inside again is that same sentiment and snowflake. I have a piece of garden green. This measures 3 3/4 by 5. My designer series paper is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. I can't believe I'm on this kick now of doing things 1/4 of an inch. The mats, 1/4 of an inch difference between the paper, the pattern paper, and the cardstock mats. I usually do much narrower. So this is just the kick I'm on right now. So who knows what the next ones will bring. So this I'm going to go ahead and put down onto my card front. I had grabbed a hold of my little cheat sheet there with all my measurements, so you got to see maybe ahead of time what all the measurements are. Like I said, don't hesitate to head over to my blog, because I will have all these cards over there as soon as I'm done with the video. I'll get to work on getting those posted over on my blog. So that way you don't feel like you have to be concerned about the measurements right now. Okay, now from here I have a piece of real red. It is 1 1/2 inches wide and 4 inches long is what I started with. And then I did a banner cut. So there was a little bit of out of the 4 inches taken away, but close enough to that. Now, I don't know if you can see, but I did run it through an embossing folder. It was the Wintry 3D embossing folder. It's the mini size one. So it had has these cool snowflakes, has evergreen pines or sprigs as well in it. So there's 2 different ones in there in that set of the embossing folder. But I just thought that these snowflakes would be perfect for this one. So for some reason, I lined it up with the top of the green. So it is going to go above the pattern paper. Okay. Same size of white circle, the 2 3/8. The coordinating black this time I used, the basic black for the scallop circle underneath. This I'm going to adhere directly down to the card because I wanted to pop up my Santa image. So sometimes I don't like to do a lot of dimension. The most I'll do are 2 layers, and if I can do just 1, then I'm happy. So Mr. Santa Claus with his green hat this time is going to get adhered down to the circle. As soon as I can get my dimensionals. There we go. So here he goes. The sentiment. The Christmas is stamped in the real red ink. Merry, again, stamped in the black tuxedo memento ink and cut out. And dimensionals then. Now, I knew I was going to have this over top of my circle, so I didn't want to put a lot of dimensionals, believe it or not, on the back of this. So I wanted to just get some of these on, and let me pop this right across. Now, I did not put dimensionals kind of near the bottom of this scripty Mary so that I have had a chance to slip underneath this, the Christmas, the word Christmas. So that I have some dimensionals too on the back. And I am going to just slip it under so that the Y kind of covers up and over it a little bit. And there we go. Pearls. Yep, need to get those, don't I? So let me get those. Let me turn this so I can kind of see what I'm doing. And I am just going to put 3 of those right along the side here. And now card number 3 is complete. All right, let me bring the other 2 back in so you can see them. So here was card number 1, card number 2, and now card number 3. So this stamp set is just so much fun. Obviously I didn't get to everything. This one I have some ideas for. I always love that silhouette of Santa and the reindeer. So that one I'm sure I'm going to try and come up with something as well. But I could not resist doing up Santa from there. So don't be afraid to use these layouts on your own cards using your own stamp sets if you don't happen to have this one. And obviously it does not have to be Christmas. If you need Valentine's or anything you may need, birthday cards, don't be afraid to use these layouts and papers, all that you have that, you know, already in your stash. But again, give me a moment to get stuff together on my blog, lindaloucreates.com, and you'll be able to see the products I used and the measurements for each of the cards there. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope you have yourself a wonderful Sunday, and I will see you next week. Bye now.